Namaste, I'm Dr. Rishi, graduate of Ayurveda, but also a little bit of touch in Siddha and Unani and also Tibetan medicine. So I'd like to share a little technique that we don't really explore much in our current practice and practical science. So we study about all of this, but we find these in the Parashastras. So we know that we have come across a basic collection of a herb, how to collect it, when to collect it. But there are some nuances. Now when we collect a herb, this is something that even modern science speaks about. That when you collect a herb, there's a certain stress which is induced, and that stress causes the plant to retract most of its phytoconstituents and the essential components of it. So the herb that we are actually collecting is probably only present with 40% of the essential components, and we are losing most of its efficiency. So you need more quantity of herbs to produce a little bit of effect. So there's a very simple method given in Siddha, and also practiced by a lot of Ayurvedic Vaidyas who come from a traditional practice and who have the guru. So they are initiated into this system, and this is a technique of how to compensate and retain the prana within the plant and allow the plant to produce its maximum efficiency. So we call this as Kapu, and this in common practice in either Tantra or even when you look at the Vedic practices is known as Pran Pratistha. You are offering prana to the plant. So only when you offer, whenever you take anything from nature, it is your job to give something back in return. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. There should be a balance in the nature. So in this method of Prana Pratistha or Kapu, we take a piece of thread that is present on our dress. Because this dress or cloth has been in contact with our body, and the electrons and ions which are present in our body are in constant touch with this cloth, and that gets charged with the same thing. So when you look at it in terms of physics, this is what we call as quantum entanglement, where your electron is connected with another electron from a distance. So even if both are not in the same area, the both electrons have the ability to transmit information and be in connection. So this is in fact quantum physics that we are playing with here. So take a piece of thread from any piece of your cloth, and this piece of thread then is tied around the plant. You tie it around and make a little knot, and once you make the knot, you hold the thread along with the plant with your ring finger and the thumb, your Agni and Vayu Mahabhuta. And once you create this connection between the plant and yourself, you look at the sun, who is the source of all life and your consciousness, because the sun is the guru of all. And while you look at the sun, you chant the following mantra 3 times. So this mantra, I'll even explain what the meaning is after I chant it. Om Muli Mahamuli Unuir Unudalil Nirka Swaga. Om Muli Mahamuli Unuir Unudalil Nirka Swaga. Om Muli Mahamuli Unuir Unudalil Nirka Swaga. So here what the mantra means is Om Muli. So Om is Nadi Shodhana, you're clearing your passage. Muli is the herb. So you're giving prana by saying Om to the herb. Om Muli Mahamuli, O great herb. Un Uir, may your prana, Un Udalil, reside in your body. Swaha. So when you say Swaha, it's a way of allowing prana to move from your Mooladhara up through your mouth. So Swaha, Swaga. So you're offering your prana. So Om Muli Mahamuli Un Uir Un Udalil Nirta Swaha. So this is the Prana Pratistha technique, or what we call as Kapu. And once this is done, before you harvest the herb, there's a little technique known as Saba Nivarti. So now there is a popular saying in the traditional practice of medicine and the oral tradition when you study under a guru, that a plant, they say that is cursed. So this curse, it might sound very superstitious, but it's very scientific, because every plant has inhibitory factors. For example, when I pluck this plant and it causes a stress, the plant secretes specific chemicals which inhibits its normal function. So when I'm collecting the plant in that manner, what I get more than the required phytoconstituents are more of the toxins. So I'm not getting medicine, I'm actually collecting toxins instead. So this technique of Saba Nivarti, I'll chant the following mantra. Movargal Sabam Nasi Masi, Munnorgal Sabam Nasi Masi, Devargal Sabam Nasi Masi, Siddhargal Sabam Nasi Masi. So here, by chanting this, what we are saying is, may the curses of our forefathers, so that we do not misuse the plants, be broken, Nasi Masi. And may the curse of the Siddhas be broken, Nasi Masi. May the curse of the 3 Devas, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, which is nothing but Vata, Pitta and Kapha, when Vata, Pitta and Kapha is in a malfunction, you are inhibiting the malfunction and allowing it to, you are creating a balance. Nasi, Masi, and finally Munargal, Devargal, Movargal and Siddhargal, the Siddhas, the ultimate teachers who gave us all of this knowledge to mankind. May their inhibition or their inhibitory factors also break. So this allows the plant to not just work in a very basic level of the gunas, the gunas, but the prabhava of the plant is also manifested at its peak. So when you say Siddhargal Sabam Nasi Masi, you are allowing for the siddhi of the plant to be obtained. And this plant can be used not just for medicine, but for any sort of purpose. So even carrying the plant with you is capable of producing a medicinal effect, even when not used internally, if it is collected in this specific manner. And for example, once you have done this Kapu Katradu and the Saba Nivarti to a particular plant, even if you don't have this herb in hand, so say that this is Bala, as you can see, side of this is one of Acutifolia, not Cordifolia, this is one of the varieties of Bala here. So if you don't have Bala, but say that you have Gokshura in your hand, and you don't have this plant in hand at that time, once you have created this method of quantum entanglement, your electron and this plant's electron is at very far distance, you just need to think of it, and whatever other herb or plant that you have, medicine that you have in hand, if you offer it thinking of this plant, it will work exactly as this. This is the benefit of this technique. And a more elaborate method, this is practiced more by the yogis, where the mantra is sufficient. If you are not much into sadhana, siddhanta and all these other practices, this is a more practical method where you do chant this mantra, but a pot of rice along with water is boiled. So you place some firewood, bricks, firewood, and you bring a clay pot and you boil the rice. So for us, rice is the Soma Tattva or the Ojas, which is why we boil it. And once it overboils out, you're releasing the Ojas which is present in the rice into the atmosphere and directing it towards the plant. So instead of offering your body's Ojas, which is something that you would lack if you're not a yogi, you're offering the Ojas of the rice in compensation for the Ojas and consciousness and the life force that you're going to draw from the plant and use as a medicine. So this is a method that is commonly practiced in Siddha traditions as well as the oral traditions of Ayurvedic Vaidyas. One very special mention and that I would like to make is to Vaidya Shivam, thanks to whom I'm getting an opportunity and the ability to share this wonderful precious knowledge with a much larger crowd. Up until now, I think I've been sharing it with 5 or 10 people whenever I can, but due to the special request of Vaidya Shivam, here's this wonderful and precious knowledge that I hope would reach thousands and more than thousands of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishi.